Hi, I'm Sara Dickson with AskDivorcedGirl.com. Over the last 10 years, as I've worked with parents, youth, and young adults in my practice, I have found that ineffective communication is one of their number one concerns that they have. And as I'm coaching with them, I find that that is their number one questions that come up. Because parenting is hard. It's difficult at times, but not impossible. And ineffective communication in any relationship can be detrimental to creating trust in any relationship. The breakdown of effective communication occurs when a power struggle happens, when whether the child or the young adult and the parent are both struggling for control in the relationship. And that is when ineffective communication occurs and feelings get hurt, trust is broken, and just problems occur in the relationship. This is where walls get built up in the way of effective communication. And how that happens is through anger, fear, frustration, manipulation, yelling, chaos, stress, resentment, pain, past negative experiences, lack of control, criticism, not being good enough, distrust, trauma, and anxiety. Adolescents and young adults like to push up against every barrier that gets put in their way. It's part of their development. It's how they are practicing on how they can become a successful adult. And with their parents, that's where they get to practice those skills. And so they get to push up against the walls that have been put up in your relationship. These are some ways that you can help break down the walls that got built up that get in the way of effective communication. The very first step is to create a safe and peaceful environment. When you bring in a peace and safeful environment in your home, it's a way for your young adult, your child to, have that security in their life, where they feel like they can start taking some bricks away off of their wall. The next step is to put away all electronic devices. You're not getting on an airplane, but you are having a conversation. And that is the very first step in forming a connection with your child, your young adult, your adolescent. By having that connection, you are also being able to take away some bricks that have been placed on the wall. The next step is to acknowledge that the walls are there. By doing that with your child, you're showing them trust. You're showing, I might have made some mistakes in the past. I might have not been the most perfect parent. But I'm going to start today. I'm going to start today by building this trust with you. How you create that effective communication is by a skill that I teach called making a request. The very first step of that is to ask questions. You're creating an environment where you're starting a conversation. The next part is you listen. You listen with empathy. You listen with no judgment and no comments yet. The next step is to then you can give your feedback, give your advice. And the next step of that is to ask, how do you feel about what I've said? And then the next part is to listen again. By doing this, you're not demanding what you would like them to do. Rather, you're giving that place where connection can exist, empathy, and really effective communication. And the very last step is to end the conversation with love and acceptance, no matter where they're at. By giving that great environment, you're going to create effective communication with your child, young adult, your adolescent. And I'm going to challenge you to start today. Start today by trying this. Thank you for listening today.